All right, guys. So I know you guys been waiting for this. It is the gameplay trailer breakdown. And man, I found some stuff. You know your boy, your boy Edward don't play around when I do these breakdown and analysis. So we're going to talk about some stuff in here that maybe some of you didn't fully understand. I know from my first viewership of it, I definitely didn't understand everything. But now I think I got a grasp on everything they were talking about. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. All right, so first things first. First of all, Ash Habib did a great job explaining everything, so kudos to him. But of course, they're going to hold some stuff to the chest. So I think that this is really important for me to go ahead and break this down so that I could further explain certain parts of the trailer. So right here, I know for a fact that a lot of people were a little confused with some of the stuff. For example, for directional punches, ring craft, and 36 punch control. Now movement, you know what that is. Moving around the ring. Corner system, you know what that is. Being in the corner. Back foot combat, that means hitting off the back foot. Career aspects, they talked about the career. And by the way, I'm not going to really talk about the career. I'm going to wait until they release their career mode trailer. This is really just going to be strictly on the gameplay itself. Only just so that I can, for time constraints, really. I don't want this video to be so long, but it's pretty cut and dry in terms of what they showed us. It's right there on the screen, so you can basically assert what you want to assert from that when you see it. Four directional punches. Now what four directional punches means is simply that in any direction that you're moving, you can create a different type of punch. For example, the check hook appears to be a directional movement to your left while also throwing the hook, and that would probably be the same thing. There'll be a different movement or punch animation if you're moving to your right, forward, and backwards. That's the four directional punching, and this bounces into this because 4 times 9 is 36, and 36 punch control simply means all of the different variations. So jabbing, forward, back, left, right, straight, forward, back, left, right, hooks, forward, back, left, right, etc., to the body. You get what I'm saying. So 4 directional punches, 36 punch control simply connects the two. This is like the umbrella overview of all of these punches. Adrenaline, we're going to talk about that because this is a big one, and I know for a fact that a lot of people don't even fully grasp the ramifications of this and how amazing it's going to be in controlling the pacing, not just on people being tired, but just I'll break it down when we get there. Feints, you know about that. Ring craft just simply means how crafty you are in the ring. Your movement, how you can slip, get out of the way. This is almost basically just embodying all of these mechanics. The back foot, 4 directional feints, adrenaline movement, 36 punch controls. So hopefully now you guys get a grasp of all of these concepts here. And as I mentioned, we won't go into career aspects in this video, but let me know if you guys want me to. I think I'll wait till their career mode video that they said that will be coming out. All right, so let's go into the video itself. Let me see if we can get this fast forward a little bit. All right, so here we see David Adelaide go back and hit him with a check hook, which was really good. By the way, this is the first game ever that's going to allow you to do a proper check hook. A lot of people had to do a makeshift kind of check hook where you stepped, then thrown the punch. This lets you step or pivot out of the way and step back while also throwing the punch, all in one motion. So if you see it, it's all, let's see if we can get this actually moving at a correct pace. All in one step. See how he's stepping out and punching all at the same time, which is beautiful because that is exactly how a check hook is done. Now, the best type of check hook you can do is if you're expecting a right cross, that puts your opponent way out of position because now their arm that's closest to you is extended out, and you hit him with a check hook. But you could do a check hook basically as anybody's bum rushing you or rushing you. You could just hit him with a check hook. But the check hook with a right cross coming at you is like the best case scenario. Come out of the way. Yeah. So they show it in slow motion. But like, these are the things that you guys are already kind of get. These are the surface level stuff. And of course, I want to break down things that maybe you guys could have missed. Now, here he jabs. Notice how Ash Habib in this part talks about how, hey, it's not going to be perfect. There's not going to be perfect punches that land right on the target. It's always the forehead. It's always the chin. It's not going to be perfect like that. There's going to be variations because they are fully engaged, or they fully dived headfirst into this physics-based system. True physics. So if you're not there, if you're not in that position, you're not there. Just because you're in range and I throw my jab, if there's a little bit of a slip going on or something's off, or I stepped in a weird way and I didn't get like the full like range of where you are, or I didn't get to hit my target for whatever reason, I'm gonna miss. Just because I'm in range doesn't mean that it's going to land, because it's all physics based, which means that every fight has the potential to look a bit different. Every fight has the potential to be very, very unique, which will be amazing for spectating a fight, which I'm sure they want that to be the case because of the fact that they're doing total punch. I'm sorry, not total punch. What am I talking about? Because they're doing esports competition. So if you see, he goes in, boom, he jabs him like right on his chest. This one lands like on Eddie Hall's left chest. Boom, right there, you see it. Lands on his chest. He pulls back a little bit. He comes back. He misses. He comes back again. Boom. This one lands kind of on his chin. Yeah, a little bit on his chin, a little bit on his neck. This one kind of grazes more of the right side of the chin, showing you how varied all of these jabs are. See? Show you how varied. Boom. This one catches him kind of flush. Bam. Right on the face. And then he goes to the body. This one seemed a little bit low. I'm wondering if that will come into play with the referee. If, like, you know, if you become a little bit more wild with your punches, the referee might say, hey, pick the punches up. One thing I do want to mention is that Ash Habib did say in the beginning of the video that the clinch system and the referee hasn't fully been integrated. Notice the words he used. First of all, I'm super happy about the referee, because come on, that referee was pathetic. Like, give me a break. I'm glad that that's something that they said that it hasn't been fully integrated or whatever. He's just probably just sitting there, not actually being coded to do anything yet. But the clinch system, keyword being system, because if it was just a clinch button, it's just a clinch. There's nothing to work on. Just press the button, whatever. But it's going to be a clinch system. By the time this game is over, guys, we're going to have basically a true simulation representation of the sport when they're going with physics and clinch system. Oh my goodness. Anyways, just needed to mention that. All right, so he hits him low, goes up again, hits him with the jab, goes low again, and then that one hit in a higher spot. But look at the guard at below is extending out, like he actually pushed it out. Watch, boom, you see that? It's like a little moment where the body kind of pushed out and the guard pushes out. Watch, you'll see it. Boom, right there. It's very subtle, but you see it. And I'll point at it. Hold on. Man, it's hard to it is hard to grab. Hold on, let me see if I can grab it. Boom, boom, boom. He goes in, boom, right there. See? This is pushed out. You see kind of some demorphing here, or some morph animations here while the guard is getting pushed out. Man, details, guys, details. These things sit in your subconscious mind, and then you're like, why does this look so real? It's because of all those little details. Jabbed him in the neck again. Now, he's showing here how he's fighting off the back foot. He moves forward, but then he moves backwards right at the last second and jabs off the back foot right here. Right at the last second, boom. See how he steps backwards and throws that jab? And he continues to step backwards and then also throws that straight right. This is very Mayweather-esque, this kind of back foot straight right here. I absolutely love it. And I love how he just starts walking backwards, just kind of bouncing backwards. Everything looks so realistic. The transitions into the different animations look so realistic. And here they just show it again. Okay, the feint system. Now, the feint system, guys, this thing is no joke, guys. This thing is no joke. Now, most people who incorporate a feint system, most combat games, what they do is they have a specific animation to that feint. So whatever it is, it's a feint, and it'll kind of always look the same every single time. But here, clearly, it is not so much a feint, but a cancel, which means that you have variety in when you actually cancel it to make someone bite, as opposed to somebody just kind of looking for the same kind of animation. Because remember, once you get it in your head over and over and over, and you do hundreds and hundreds of fights, you're probably going to be like, oh, that's a feint animation. I could already tell. And it won't be as tricky. But if you can cancel at any point in the animation, it's game over in terms of somebody trying to like just memorize what the animation would be for a feint. And it's very clear that this is a cancel animation that is simply a feint that essentially works as a feint, but it is simply a cancel animation because he's going. You'll see what I'm talking about. There he goes for the hook, right? But here you'll see he kind of goes for like another hook, and then he stops, so he cancels it. There he cancels it at a different location. He cancels it over here, and it's a cancel, guys. It might look like he did a strike, but it's a cancel. I'll show you right now. He goes up, right? He comes here, and he stops short there, but here he lets it go and then cancels it. So, and look, does it again. So he's showing you basically in a very subtle way, without really outwardly explaining it, that he is canceling whenever he wants within that animation. And then they mapped it back to a smooth transition, which, my goodness, they're working so hard over there. All right, here he cancels like a straight, and he cancels a jab and then hits with the uppercut. Cancels the uppercut and then hits with the body shot. Cancels in a different location, hits with the body shot. Cancels even lower, hits with the body shot. Showing you all the different ways you can cancel, all the different points you could cancel. And you could also delay your shot, because if you shoot it, cancel, but then shoot it, you essentially do an off rhythm shot, which can be incredibly confusing, and you'll have so many tools to confuse your opponent. This feint system is just phenomenal, because it's not a feint system. It's really just a cancel system that works as the ultimate feint system. They're geniuses over there, because they're applying certain things because for the longevity of this game, for people to be able to have different fights look completely different every single time. All right, so we move into the let's see here. Here he just shows it. He shows what it is. He basically fakes the shot to the body, and then comes in with an uppercut. And then here he does a check hook. Oh no, and then sorry, not a check hook. Why did I say that? They're showing the same thing here. They're showing the same thing. Uppercut. So there he goes. As they're explaining it, we've already talked about it, but yeah, you can cancel at any point. Revolutionary footwork system. Now, this is the thing that I've been saying for a long time. I am very positive that there is a footwork modifier, or foot movement modifier, or movement modifier, where you can be more flat-footed, right? So he's a little bit more kind of flat-footed in his movements here. So there could be more purposeful movements, more movements that are geared more towards getting ready to strike or getting ready to put yourself in positions to strike. So you see all of that. Then he shows a little bit of head movement. So you're going to be able to do kind of slight head movement, which is good because this is physics based anyways. But then they're also going to have like the kind of going on your bicycle movement, which is like modifying your fighter to be on his toes. Here you can see he's on his toes and he can move. So if you click the on your toes modifier, this is how you would move. Instead of being more flat-footed, you're actually on your toes and you can actually escape your opponent if they're being aggressive. Now, this adrenaline system. So I watched this a bunch of times and I think I got the gist of it. So if this BPM hits 150 beats per minute, you've crossed the threshold where it will unlock this. Now that could be changed. They could decide, okay, we don't want 150, we want 160, whatever it is. But right now, in its current state, 150 beats per minute is where this will activate the adrenaline rush, right? With the adrenaline rush, once you get to 150, this will max out and it will stay up here. However, this total max will start to chop down in significant chunks as you're using that maxed out current burst of energy. But here's the awesome thing, guys. And you can see, and you can get this heart rate up simply from throwing punches without getting hit yourself. That's the key thing, without getting hit yourself. So you can see Arturo Gatti just throwing punches and getting it up. He gets to 150, bam. It goes into max, but look at how much he's chopping away at his overall stamina bar. It's a lot. He took a lot off. And you notice he stopped punching. It's a cool down system and it's kind of going down. So basically you have a set. Hold on. Did I go? No, I went too far. So basically you have a set amount of punches. You can see, look, 150. He's in the 150 range right here. See how he hits 150. He's in the 150 range, and now he has his David Adelaide has his stamina flashing. So he's going after him, right? He's going after him. Boom, boom. He has all the stamina, but he's eating away at his own stamina. And then he goes down. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with it. If you, and you can look back at even over here, right? Let's see. Hold on. Over here. Notice their heart rates, right? So you're always going to have a baseline kind of range, maybe from 68 beats per minute to about 74 beats per minute. But as you throw punches, it goes up. And it doesn't matter if you land, and it doesn't matter if you miss, but it goes up. What brings it back down is if you get hit. So if you notice, let's see if we can take a look. He gets hit. He gets hit there. You see it drops. It drops back to normal. He gets hit there. He gets hit in the body. It keeps him. See, goes to 68. See that? He gets hit. It goes down 78. So it looks like, see, he gets hit right there, goes down to 78. So it keeps you right there to 78. It's keeping you from kind of gaining BPM as long as you're getting hit. So these, I mean, I could be wrong, but it looks like they've created a system where you actually care about hit and not getting hit. Not on just some arbitrary, what's my health or whatever, but on a moment-to-moment basis, which makes you think more. Because if you do want to get your BPM up and just have the freedom of understanding that your stamina won't come down and you can pot shot people or whatever you want to do with that. But there is an advantage to having your BPM be high. You can be smart with it. At the same time, if you're somebody who's intelligent and you're like, oh, this guy, he's so aggressive, I'm going to let him throw. I'm going to move. I'm going to get on my bicycle a little bit. I'm going to kind of do the rope-a-dope if I want, or just make a miss and pot shot him a little bit, but let him keep raising his BPM because I know that he's going to try to go all out when his BPM is high and try to throw a bunch of punches. And this is my strategy to get him to get tired. So by the 5th, 6th round, I'm going to start taking over easily. So that's what it looks like. It's an intelligent system that not only thinks further or goes deeper in terms of stamina management, but it also creates a system that allows you to actually think about hitting and not getting hit on a moment to moment basis. On a moment to moment basis. Because how do you replicate that in real life? This is genius, because you can't really replicate not wanting to get hit, because you're not actually getting hit when you're playing a video game. So there's no punishment of pain or anything like that you have to deal with when you're actually playing a video game. So you might say, I'll get hit and I'll take some hits to my health, but I'm gonna try to do this. But what if you're constantly trying to build your BPM, but you can't build it all the way up because you're constantly getting hit? You won't want that. You want to get your BPM high so that you can have that freedom of being at that high level energy burst. It's pretty ingenious, actually. So we move over. Let's go over to, got the movement system here. We've already talked about that. Talked about this here. And today, counter punches. Okay, so counter punches. First of all, this combination is just crazy. And you can see the pivoting here too. Hits the body, pivots, and it's like a true pivot. It's a true pivot to the other side, hits the body, goes on top, but notice he hits him kind of like in the chest. He dodges it, so he goes for the body. He steps around him again, boom, hits the top, boom, hits the bottom, and it's all hitting in different locations, guys. All hitting in different locations. So here, he steps back a little bit, kind of catches it on the shoulder, not really catches it on the shoulder, kind of actually fully clears it by stepping back and catches him with a jab that kind of glances off of him a little bit because it's realistic, it's all physics based. And then here, this is really nice because it's a true pivot. He ducks it and uppercut. Sorry, I jumped the gun. This is what I was talking about here. But that was just, one of those duck and uppercuts that we've seen, pretty standard. But here, yeah, got the duck, then uppercut, nice. But here, it's a true pivot because he steps with his left foot and then he rotates his back foot behind his left foot. So it's a true check punch pivot. Bam, right to the body, and then he keeps his right hand up to protect his face. And because it's physics-based, guys, he doesn't have to press the block button. That hand up is protecting his face. And we'll get a little bit more into that. Cornerman, pretty straightforward. This is basically like Fight Night, just 100%. He's increasing stamina and health, and you can skip it. That's all this is. Nothing really to see here, but I love the graphics, everything. Oh my God, it screams next generation, screams it. Let's move over. You can see the cutmen. So cutmens are going to be important. Who you select is actually going to create, whatever you care more about. If you want cut recovery or body damage recovery or whatever it is, you need to pick the right cornerman for you or the right cutman for you. All right, fight stances. So this is important because this is where they basically flex how much variety you're going to have in defending yourself because of the physics-based system and because of arm and block physics. Now, in Fight Night, for example, you only block when you block. And by that, I mean you only block when you press block. When you press the input, here's the block input, then you block. That is not true to life in terms of boxing. Sometimes if you have your hands low and somebody goes for a body shot, but your hands are already there, you tighten up a little bit. Sorry about that. You tighten up a little bit and you block the body. The ramifications and the implications of the fact that simply having your body down there is going to be protecting you is just phenomenal. Because when you look at this, and by the way, you can see that he's getting bruised here, so there's probably going to be a damage input for those kind of things too. You can see the bruising, and I love how his straight is smothered, so he actually cannot throw the straight. If you look at the animations, He cannot throw the straight because he's so close to his opponent. He can't throw the straight to the body comfortably. It's smothered. Look right here. See? Smothered, smothered. See that? And then he goes for the body. So what this means, the application of this is when the Philly shell is fully implemented, it's going to be insane. Because if you roll and lift your shoulder or tuck your chin or just roll and lean, you can block a shot on your shoulder and then counter without actually hitting the block quote unquote button. So you don't have to hit a block button. You can be very fluid in your defense and varied in your defense and create different types of ways to counter your fighter without doing the traditional primitive, oh, I blocked, now you, therefore you cannot hit me. So block pumping is going to be gone simply because of this, because there's so much more ways to keep your opponent from hitting the targets. Not just relying on the block system, but also relying on the physics system. I know that if you hit my shoulder, I'm not going to get hit. So let me roll into where your punch is coming and lean back and let it hit my shoulder, and I'll come with a counter because I'm already leaning. I could probably hit you with something even more powerful. This is insane. The amount of that physics base. This is what this physics based thing. This is what victorious boxers did, but this is taking it times 10 because I'm sure when they do the Philly shell integration, as they were talking, you're going to be able to do those kind of mechanics. And it's just the sky's the limit for this game because they decided to go with physics based. And I'm so happy about that. Here, throws straight right and steps back. And then he talks about the career mode, but I do want to get this all the way here, right? To this part, right? Because he's talking about a bunch of stuff here. All right, cool. So development priorities for combat. So I want to explain this part right here. Current punch sets will be replaced with further iterations. This does not mean, guys, that the punch sets that you just saw are going to be just thrown into the garbage. The animations of what we saw are good. Those are motion captured animations. They're not going to throw motion capture animation in the garbage, but what they're going to probably do is refine it, make it sharper, make it look better, less wonkier, things of that nature. Yes, they're going to do that. And by the way, I love the speed that was displayed in this. I actually complained a little bit about the speed in the last video, but the speed here looked really good to me. It's possible the last video was working on some type of a slow motion or something, but the speed looked good here. But what they're talking about current punch sets is that the fighters that you're seeing are not really necessarily using the punch sets that are going to be final to that character. They've stated multiple times that they want everyone to have unique punch styles. Well, not everyone, but the marquee fighters. So the fighters that are the more popular fighters, the ones that people know, that they will have their own movement style and punching style. And that's just absolutely fantastic because it will make you feel that everyone you use is legitimately different and will give you a specific edge. And that matters in esports. That matters. If you look at Smash Brothers, everyone has something that's different to them that makes them a higher tier or lower tier. In Fight Night, for example, you just don't see that. So this is an important aspect to this, to everything. But this does not mean that they're throwing away the motion capture that they've gotten so far. It looks beautiful. What they're going to do is they're going to, what you're seeing on those fighters are probably not the end movement, because they only have 3 sets right now so far implemented, 3 sets of punches and 3 sets of movements. So for example, that might not be Eddie Hall's final punch set and movement set. So just that's what this current punch sets will be replaced with further iterations means. Variety of stances. So example, further iterations of the Philly shell. So some people have different types of Philly shells because it's true. You're not just one Philly shell, one dimensional, like when you think about Fight Night. For example, think about Floyd Mayweather's Philly shell and James Toney's Philly shell is more fluid, slick, and counter punchy than, for example, Miguel Cotto when he applies the Philly shell, or when Canelo Alvarez does it and he uses it more to stay in range and slip with his head as opposed to actually try to do shoulder rolling and counters off of that. So there's different types of ways to apply the Philly shell, and some are more tighter, some are more experienced in it, some use it more aggressively than others. Variations of punches to be introduced. So not every jab is going to be the same. Not every straight right is going to be the same. We're going to have different variations of the same punch system. Marquee fighters will be motion captured to take advantage of the revolutionary footwork system within ESBC, as I just mentioned, and of course also the punching system as well. So there you have it, guys. I hope this helped you understand this trailer more, what you were seeing. But man, am I excited. I cannot wait for more. I cannot wait for more. It makes me even more excited for the Fighter Showcase, knowing that their marquee fighters are going to be motion captured and we're going to have the uniqueness of that fighter. It's making me so hyped for the Fighter Showcase on this Saturday, which I will be live streaming here on YouTube. That's all, guys. I don't want to make this video super long. I know it's probably already long, but that's it. I'm out. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.